You know who else I got on speed dial? Number 73. Antonio Hall. Talking ball with Hall. Q92 Sports. Here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, as we get you ready for Week 10.
Already.
All the big rivalry games, and, of course, the game on Saturday. The Pups and the Tigers at the Benny. Antonio Hall joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. He looks like he's ready to go out and start a fight right now. Antonio, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great, Sam. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I feel like I've talked to you already today. Oh, that's right, I did. Okay.
We did. It's a big week, though. There's a lot to talk about.
Didn't we have fun with technology this morning? Wasn't that fun?
Always do. Always do.
Oh, Mother Teresa. Okay, so let's take a little quick Week 9 review, if we could.
Yep.
What stood out to you, McKinley, Jackson, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, seeing just the margins of victory that McKinley has had, and just to see how dominant that performance was. I mean, that was very impressive and a great momentum build as you go into the week of all weeks and also get ready for playoffs. That's just a great staple for your program, especially for a first-year head coach and a team who's getting better every single week.
Antonio, man, I was shocked when I saw that score. I mean, we had talked a couple of days before. We know the pitfalls of Week 9, and I just thought Jackson was going to put up a fight. I thought it was going to be a 4-quarter game. I thought McKinley would win. I had him something like, maybe 20, 24, 14 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I had. I had about probably a 10-point spread in my head.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, 40-9? Okay. Right. And I know Jackson's been getting better. What does this mean? What does this tell us about McKinley right now?
I think that they found themselves in terms of scheme, personnel, understanding the details within the scheme. I mean, when you have a new head coach, there's a lot, especially when you have a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. You have a lot of first-year guys playing. And so, like I said, to find a way to win as you're finding yourself as a team, and then you get to this point, you're like, oh, well, this is who we are. Let's go. And I think they're at that point. They remind me a lot of the 08 Calgary team, new head coach, new offense, whole new offense, maybe like 4 starters from defense. And just every week, you just saw us getting better and better. And by the end of it, I mean, we're blowing people off the field. So I think McKinley is very similar to that. And I think really their best football is still ahead of them.
Stampeders.
That's right,
the
baby.
Calgary Stampeders, McMahon Stadium. I'm telling you, I followed you. I know what's going on. All right. Hey, you know what? Something just popped into my head. And I had somebody ask me last night, actually at the North Canton Y. They said, what do you think McKinley's signature win was this year? And I think they were probably fishing around and they wanted me to say, the 21-20 win over Hoover. But you know what I told them? I said, I think McKinley's signature win this year was their loss to St. Augustine Prep. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I think I learned more about McKinley, even though I didn't see the game live, but I learned more about them August the 29th than I did in any game this year. And that's why I think you're seeing the progression here. Yep. You bounce back, you beat Heights, you beat Glen Oak, you beat Perry, Green, Hoover, Lake Jackson. Now you're ready for the big one. I would point to that and say that's where I learned a lot.
Yeah. I mean, same, especially in that second half. You just saw what the makings of this team could be. And I think now they're starting to scratch the surface.
Hoover and Lake this weekend have some toughies, okay? Right. Rivalry games, of course. Hoover, Jackson, Lake, and Green. Both are 7-2. All 4 teams are trying to scratch out some playoff positioning if they can. What is your take on Hoover, Jackson, and then Green and Lake?
Wow, I mean, especially after seeing that game last week, which was just a great high school football game, Federal League, late in the season, a lot on the line for both teams, and to see Lake come off that 2 game losing streak, that blue streak that they had, and to really beat a very good North Canton team whose only loss was to one point by a very good McKinley team. I mean, that was huge for them, especially, that Tyler's still not back, could be back this week. From what I was told by coach, it's not his call, it's mom's call. So we'll see how good the negotiating is in the in the George house. But even not having Tyler and finding a way to win, I mean, man, that was a great game. And then Jackson coming off, that huge loss. I know they have a bad taste in their mouth. It's a rivalry game, and a lot's riding on them for playoff implications. So, and Green, I mean, Green's coming out of nowhere, man. I mean, and we knew, we talked about all season. They're right there. They're right there. Because they have a great coach, they have a great system. A lot of young players. It was going to take time, but man, Green is impressive, right? And so I really think both games can go either way this week. But just seeing the momentum that Lake had, and just seeing the momentum that Green's building, I think both of those teams, in my mind, are my favorites this week.
Yeah, I would agree. Antonio Hall is our guest, Q92 Sports, on here, the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So we talked a little D1. I'll hold the McKinley-Massillon for a couple of minutes. I want to talk about Alliance and maybe West Branch a little bit. The EBC has been pretty consistent this year. It's been a 1-2 team punch with West Branch and Alliance. Warriors got the Aviators a couple of weeks ago in Beloit in a fantastic game, so they're going to take the league. But Salem is scoring buckets of points down here lately. Carrollton, I think, could be a pain in the butt. Minerva, now they've got 5 wins, and some of their wins have not been against the strongest.
Rewind that, Sam.
Okay.
You just breezed through Minerva having 5 wins.
Wait a minute. All I wanted to say was that because I did the Minerva Alliance game last week, and it ended up being a runner. It was 35-0. But Minerva's 5 wins against some of the competition has not been as strong. But the fact that maybe last year, the year before, they would have lost those games.
Right.
They won those games this year. So I have absolutely given Coach Zach all his due in their 5 wins. But I guess my point was the NBC, I think it was a little more of a dogfight for Alliance and West Branch to climb over these other teams, despite some of their records. Because look, Marlington's 3-6. They lost an outstanding wide receiver with a broken arm. They got a freshman quarterback who's going to be really good, by the way, by the time he's a junior and senior. Minerva is going through the process, right? Carrollton's had some ups and downs. Salem's looking for their 7th win. And then there's the big dogs at the top, Alliance and West Branch. My question to you would be, who do you think makes it the furthest in the postseason between West Branch and Alliance?
Wow. That's
because they're in different divisions, remember?
Right.
Because
I think for me, I think probably Alliance.
Okay.
I think Alliance, for the fact that they can get it done on the ground with the quarterback and the running back, and they have enough skill on the back end to play a team if you're going to spread it out and try to throw it. And I think they're solid enough against the run when they have to be. But the fact that they can establish a run game with 2 different people, understanding that playoff weather or surround or whatever, to me, I think that gives them a little bit of an edge.
I'll meet you there halfway. And the only reason I would say that Alliance would maybe go further is Cleveland Glenville is standing in the way of West Branch early, maybe. And that could be tough. They played last year, remember. Glenville came down to West Branch, and they only won 13-0, but that was a big road win for them as
Right.
they moved on through the postseason last year. Antonio Hall is our guest. We got him every Wednesday, 5:35 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We appreciate him and all his time all season long. And now, does this mean that you won't be coming on with me anymore during the playoffs, or are we going to keep this train going?
It's up to you, man. I mean, unless I'm fired.
I'm putting you down. You're in.
Fair enough.
You're
Keep
good.
Keep it rolling.
Let's do it. Let's do it for Fedora football too. That's what we're going to do. All right. Okay. I've waited long enough.
Okay.
McKinley Maslin, Saturday afternoon. It's going to be about 59, partly sunny, mostly cloudy, no wind, no rain right now.
Can you believe that for McKinley?
I know. Right? I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm thinking about wearing shorts on Saturday. I'm thinking about it.
There you go.
Shorts and a hoodie. I'm thinking about it. What do you think? You know both these teams better than anybody. Not just this year, but previous years, obviously coaching and playing. We know what it's all about. We know what the game means. Walk us up to 2:00 on Saturday and your thoughts on both sides of the ball.
2:00 on Saturday for a player is going to seem like months away, and for a coach it's going to seem like 10 minutes. And so, you're really trying to narrow your focus as much as possible, because this is when both towns are just going absolutely bonkers. Tomorrow is going to be nuts for the kids. It's going to be nuts, getting ready as we go into Friday, and Friday is just pandemonium. I mean, you have just parades and pep rallies and lunches, and so it's just like the focus, you're trying to narrow it so much, because as you get close to the game, there's more stuff trying to pull your attention away. And so, you're just trying to make sure that you do your job, you got your assignment, and that you go out there and you play with everything you got, because this is the biggest stage in high school football, and you got an opportunity to go out there and lay it on the line.
As a coach getting ready for this ball game, and we chatted about this earlier today, how were you able to separate all the outside stuff, which is good stuff, because if you didn't have that outside stuff, it wouldn't be what it is today. And I talk about the bonfires and the parades and the rallies and the lunches and all that stuff, all those minefields you got to get yourself through. How were you able to balance as a coach? How were you able to balance as just an individual, as a human being?
Right. And that's what you try to get in front of before that week even starts. Like on Friday night after the game, leading into week 10, you're reminding your guys that what's coming up this week, what our focus needs to be, that your part in this whole week of pageantry and festivities and nostalgia and celebration, your focus is Saturday at 2:00. And that's where your focus needs to be. Spirit weeks are cool, pep rallies are cool, but that's for your classmates, that's for the community. Your thing in this is Saturday afternoon. And most of us, if we're lucky, only get 2 or 3 cracks at this thing. And so we want to make sure that we're ready to go hit on cylinders come 2:00.
Do you have a favorite McKinley Maslin memory as a player, as a coach, as a young high school football fan? What would that be?
Wow. I won't say it's one of my favorite memories, but probably being a part of, or being able to see that 100th game. And, my cousin was the middle linebacker for Maslin at the time. So me being, a Bulldog, like,
Sure,
I have to be, but that's family, right? And he was my everything. Like, he's the reason why I played football. And so, so to see Maslin questionably, because that was a forward lateral, questionably with that game,
How dare you, Mr. Redrick? How dare you? I'll never forget that either, man. I'll never forget it.
But then 2 weeks later, come back and now, it's the rematch. It seems like twice as many people. It was the coldest game I think I've still ever been at to this day. And seeing McKinley, redeem themselves, but it's just seeing just like how great football, both games, both sides, the athletes that were Kente Mitchell, Adrian Brown, Willie Spencer, Leon Ashcraft, Courtney Hare. I mean, it's just like, to me, this was like that was my Cleveland Browns. Like, that was my all-star team to see those guys. And to see that and be a part of that, that's what planted what McKinley Massillon is to me. And I couldn't wait to get up there and be a part of it.
Didn't Kente score 4 touchdowns on the ground?
He did. He did.
Grown-ass
man running the ball.
Oh, my God. Antonio, how'd you like to be on the defensive line looking at this guy wearing number 46, shoulder pads bigger than a hotel?
Big box shoulder pads, the thigh pads that look like microwaves. Like, right. He was so intimidating.
I'm out, man. I'm out. Go into the end zone. Hey, don't let me stop you. I'm not getting in your way. There's no way in the world. You're right. He was a grown ass man. He really was. I want to throw one. I want to talk about Central St. Thomas for a minute, and then we'll do one more McKinley Massillon, and I'll let you go. And the reason I bring the Crusaders and Knights up is this. Both teams are 0-9, okay? Both have very proud traditions. Both teams have won state championships. St. Thomas has one, Central Catholic has 3. The coaching, I mean, come on.
Right, the who's who.
Jack Rose, Lowell Kleinfelder, Jeff Linda Smith. I mean, some of the great players, the Duffys, the Andre Motleys, I could go on and on. Somebody's got to win this game. What does it mean for the team that wins, and how devastating is it for the team that comes up short? Take us in both those locker rooms, post-game win-lose.
Definitely. I was fortunate enough to be a part of this rivalry, so I know the magnitude of what it means for those communities and those schools and those traditions. And it's like, no matter what rival you play in, especially the ones like McKinley Massillon, it's like, even if you're having a terrible season, if you can just beat those dudes, it's a successful year, right? And so, like, everything is riding on this game for both teams. I mean, both 0-9. The only thing you have to play for is to beat your rival. And so, one team, while it may not be as triumphant as if you're 9-0 and winning the game, you're still going to feel like a king of the world because you were able to get a win this year, and it was against the team that you hate the most. And for the team that loses, I mean, not only do you go over for the season, but you get the nail in the coffin by your arch rival, right? Yeah. So that's double devastating. And so a lot riding is on this game.
I can't imagine how tough it is to go over into your last game.
Right.
Now with the added thing of it, you're playing your rival. But I got to believe there's going to be tears on both sides, win or lose. The exuberation of getting that first W is like, oh my God, we finally did it.
Right. Especially against your rival.
Man, getting chills thinking about it. All right, McKinley Massillon on Saturday. One more in this one, and we'll let you go. Obviously, Pup's D1 now. Massillon's been D2 for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. How far? Not who will go the farthest, but how far do you think both teams will go in the postseason in their respective divisions?
Yeah, and again, a lot of this too is going to just decide, how things shake out with the brackets. But I think with how things are set in Division I, I think realistically McKinley can make it to the semis depending on when they have to see St. Ed's. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree.
And for Massillon, I mean, they've had for the most part, an easy road to hoe all the way up into the semis, no matter who they were playing, minus, a couple years. But, I see Madison realistically, like depending on when they have to see either maybe a Walsh Jesuit or a Hoban or something. Like I think maybe, round 3 at the earliest, but they can make it to the state semis too. I mean,
Yeah, I would agree.
So yeah, that's about where I see it.
Man, how cool would it be if the Pups could play for a D1 title and the Tigers could play for a D2 title in the same weekend? How sweet would that be?
Stark County would be off the chain.
Oh man, that's a movie. That's got movie written all over it.
Right.
All right, big fella, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on again today. You are locked in for every Wednesday throughout the high school football season. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will be in touch and enjoy that football. Okay.
Same here, brother.
There he goes. My man, Antonio Hall, talking ball with Hall, 1310 WDPN.